Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Whew, I just finished doing a ton of dishes. When you don't have a dishwasher and you are the dishwasher, man, it's so easy for those things to pile up. But anyway, I just wanted to hop on here because right before I started doing those dishes, I was watching a video on a channel I've actually never seen before, and I don't subscribe to or anything like that. And what I thought was a little makeup tutorial ended up being this is why I haven't been on my channel in a while, kind of let's catch up. And it was really interesting because her story was very similar to an experience I have had in my life not too long ago. Prior to what I call the great abandonment, when I came up here and found out it was going to be by myself, I had a similar situation that she was in as well. And, my last situation I was in, the person I came up here with, I really truly thought was it. We were coming up here to build a life together. We had all our animals. We had, got together and just, a whole new experience. And now it's been, well, this will be the end of my 5th year of being up here by myself. And I never, ever imagined that in my life, like at any point, did I ever think that I would be spending, this will be my 5th Thanksgiving alone. And when I say alone, I'm not talking about not being in a relationship. I'm talking about no family, nothing. Just this guy here rolling through Thanksgiving together, right? And my 6th Christmas. Just an empty house. It's very strange. But it got me to thinking about how loneliness is a muscle. And I think it is this time of year that kind of brings that out in me. It's the short daylight, it's the colder weather, the holidays. You just start kind of feeling that muscle getting a little, flexing a little bit more than it usually does. And it really is, loneliness is like a muscle, because you have to be okay with the stillness. I mean, when you've lived your whole life with, growing up with parents or siblings or, then friends being around, and then you get older and you're in a relationship and then you have kids, and there's always some sort of stimulus around. And so you kind of become used to that, and it becomes a part of just what you know and what you do and what you have in your life. And, when I came up here, I was 42 years old. So that's a long time to live with some sort of people around you all the time. And, even if you were in a situation where you didn't have people around you, you were in an environment where you had friends or community that you could call up and just go be a part of. And when you have none of that, it really flexes that muscle. And, you have to cheer yourself on. You have to be your own cheerleader for things. You have to, tell yourself things are going to be okay, when you're not sure if they are or not, just like a friend or a spouse would. And you have to be self-disciplined. I was doing those dishes and I'm thinking, man, if somebody else was here with me, like, you mostly I would do it out of courtesy, because to have, a little bit of dishes in my sink overnight, typically I like to keep up on that, but it's not the end of the world if I don't get to them. But when you have someone else sharing a living space, it's different. And so you have to be a little bit more self-disciplined in that sense, not just let things go. And you also have to balance control. And in that, I mean, I've had, like, my sister, if she comes and visits sometimes, um, I find that I have a certain way that I keep things on the counter, and if the soap moves over a little bit, I know I'm not OCD, but those are things that you don't realize that you create in your life because uh, you can. And trusting, these are all part of, I consider, when you're lonely, things that you have to flex. You have to keep in mind, you have to strengthen or let go of. And trusting is a big one too. Trusting yourself. Not settling for instant gratification is another one too, when you're lonely, or when you're flexing your loneliness muscle. uh I think it's very easy, and I've done it. I mean, a lot of what got me into where I am right now is not allowing myself to build my loneliness muscle. And so seeking instant gratification from, finding someone else to just pop in and be in the situation is a lot easier to do, but not as rewarding in the long run. And so those are all things that, I've experienced in my loneliness over this last 5 going on 6 years. And it's just it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think it's something that would have been better for me to learn it a lot earlier in my life. That's for sure. When I was younger, in my early 20s, if I was kind of in between jobs or looking for jobs, I remember I would apply for jobs, and even if I kind of thought, I'm not really interested in that one, but if I got an interview, I would always go to that interview because it was practice. To go to interview for a job that you didn't really want or care to get anyway, it was great practice to have an opportunity to do that interview because you weren't nervous and you could listen and practice and respond to the answers, and it was a muscle. It was a practice. And so I think that allowing loneliness to be a part of your life early on is such a great experience. And I would encourage anybody, even if you are in an older point in your life, and you're scared to make a change or do something because it may feel lonely, to not be scared to do it. In fact, invite it, give it the opportunity. Because if you don't build a loneliness muscle and learn how to use it when you need to use it, when you have an opportunity presented to you that kind of fills in that loneliness, I don't know that you will really truly value that feeling that opportunity brings, that alleviates some of that loneliness. I'm not sure if you would really have as much of an appreciation for it when you have it. So that's my little thought for today. I hope that made sense. Some of you out there that have probably been in, really long relationships your whole life may not understand that. But I think there's a good handful of you out there watching this that get it and know where I'm coming from. And, I still hope someday that maybe I won't have to flex this muscle as often, but I've also, another I guess another flex of the loneliness muscle. I've also accepted that this may be it. You know, um, this may be what I have the rest of my life. Just this guy here and my chickens and, you know, my animals. But yeah, I hope you guys got something out of that and I wasn't too rambly. I really am at the end stage of my cold and, you know, still some congestion, but I'm having a lot of brain fog and a hard time concentrating. So I'm trying to keep these videos a little more on the light-hearted side or light, you know, thought side of things going forward, and hopefully a little bit deeper thoughts come in after I feel better. Oh, Nanish. Oh, no, no. Joey's on a diet and he's lost a little bit of weight. He looks good. You look good. Okay. Yeah. You always look good. You're a very pretty girl. All right, guys. Take care, and I hope everybody's doing well.